Hey there, Jamie Faye here, Millennial Life Dating and Relationship Coach, and I am really looking forward to sharing what I have to share with you today in this video about how I deal with haters and about how hopefully you can take something from this video about how you deal with haters or people who you feel don't get you or bring you down or dislike you or aren't satisfied with you or whatever it may be. So as you hop on, let me know that you can hear me and see me well because hi. So let me know that you're here, where you're tuning in from into this video, into this really important topic. Thanks so much for the like. Can you let me know that you hear me? I would really appreciate it as we jump into this video. So as I was sitting here thinking about, I wanted to make this video, I thought of some very specific examples that I'd love to share with you about how I deal with haters. And also I came up with three steps for processing and dealing with this type of person or this person that comes up in your life. So I wanted to talk about this. It's actually a topic that comes up a lot with my clients. Often the women and couples that come to me, particularly women and individuals that come to me, they come with things that they want to work on, like they feel they're super sensitive and they want to, they would like to not let things bother them as much. You know, they love that they're sensitive, but they don't want to be so sensitive and they don't want to care so much what other people think of them and they don't want to get stressed or have anxiety because of this. And I can totally relate to my clients who feel this because I used to feel this way. I used to have very bad anxiety attacks, and have a lot of trouble dealing with people being upset with me, even though I've always been quite a strong, assertive person. But dealing with that was really difficult for me, especially in certain relationships like with my parents or my mother, where it was really difficult for me to deal with her not agreeing with me or not being okay with us having a different opinion, where now it's quite different, where I'm really okay with that and I'm really okay with me having an opinion, her having an opinion, and as well as other people in my life. Now, this comes into a lot of areas, boundaries, what we're comfortable with, what we're available for and what we're not available for. So if you can relate to this feeling of, I wish when people don't like me or don't like things about me or say something to me, I wish it didn't get to me so deeply. Put a 1 in the comments. I know that pretty much everyone can relate to this because even those of us who feel very strongly in this, in ourselves, in our abilities to be ourselves and push through and continue forth, even when people may not like us, it's still not fun when someone doesn't like us. It doesn't feel good. Why? Well, because we were taught that if someone doesn't like us or a behavior that we have or something about us, then there's something wrong. So if you can relate to that, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Really, there's no way that everyone watching this video cannot relate in some way, where you were taught that if someone doesn't like you, that's something you did. Why? You were taught this as a child because if you made a mistake or did something wrong or behaved badly or didn't do well enough in something, you were reprimanded in some way. It might just be as simple as do better next time, or it could be a punishment because you behaved badly. So this starts very, very, very young, and it continues in through adolescence and into adulthood, where when someone mirrors back to us that they don't like us or like something we did, hi Jen, thanks for being here, then we want to react. We are often triggered by this. Well, there must be something wrong with me. And it goes into these deep found, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, beliefs, core beliefs that we have that there's something wrong with us because someone doesn't like us, etc. So I want to share my 3 R's that I came up with today before this call, because for me they've become really integrated and really part of how I operate. And you know, it happens, right? People aren't gonna like you. People aren't gonna like me, especially because I have boundaries. And this is what's so confusing about it, is because out there in all the personal development world, there's all these beliefs and teachings that are saying you need to have boundaries. And I'm one of those coaches, okay? I'm one of those coaches who stands by my clients to help them build boundaries, right? But what happens if you build boundaries and people around you are not going to like them? They're going to react. They're going to fire back, whether they're a client, whether they're your partner, your parent, your child, right? But if you have boundaries that protect you, hi, say hello when you jump on, that protect you and your well-being and your happiness, and they are connected with your highest self, then they are going to serve you and everyone around you. That's what's most important to remember regarding boundaries. I digress, but that's okay. So I wanted to share with you a story from my life that happened actually just about a year ago. My birthday's in about a month, and on my birthday last year, I unfriended someone. Now, I unfriended someone on Facebook, which doesn't happen very often, whom I've known for years, who I had collaborated with on a bunch of projects, who happened to be male, and who happened to be continuing to call himself my friend. Now, at some point, I did consider him a friend, but then it turned out that he took every possible opportunity he had to put me down. Now, I'm not exaggerating. So maybe you can think of someone like this, and then we can, of course, think of people on a spectrum who don't necessarily go out of the way to put us down, but affect us. So he took every opportunity. On the first Facebook Live I ever made, 2 years ago, he sent me a message about how unprofessional it was, how I was with a white background. My background has not changed much. How I should sit differently, how I should talk differently, how I should talk to the camera differently, blah, blah, blah. Unsolicited, didn't ask him. And from then, over the year, because it was about a year ago that I unfriended him, he took every opportunity to call me on the phone, to write me a message, to tell me he's my friend, but he wants to help me. And if he wants his professional advice, he's happy to give it to me. And I said, no thanks, because I didn't want his advice and I didn't ask for it and I didn't need it. And that was an example of someone that at that point in our birthdays, which were very close last year, I decided that it was time to release him. So here we're gonna come into the 3 R's. The first R is realize. Realize what's happening. And it doesn't just mean realize someone's being mean or hurting you. Realize the trigger. What is happening? Why are you being triggered by the fact that this person doesn't like you? What does it bring up for you? What beliefs? What memories, if any? What does it bring up for you when someone doesn't like you or doesn't like your behavior? Hi, Juliana, how are you? So I'm just getting into the 3 R's now. So the first one is realize. Realize the trigger. Realize what's really happening. Perhaps this person is triggered by you and you bring out something in them that they don't like or they're jealous of or what have you. On top of that, that doesn't even matter, but it's good to realize. On top of that, what are they bringing up for you? And even more than that, thank you. Thanks for the hearts. Send them away, guys. Send them to me. I'd love them. Once you realize how it triggers you, realize what's really happening. Realize that you've set a boundary often that the person doesn't like, or that you've spoken your mind and the person doesn't like it. Realize that none of this has to do with you. Nothing is personal, and I mean that. I say it all the time. Nothing is personal. This has nothing to do with you. Him attacking me for whatever he thought were my imperfections in my videos really doesn't give him a right to attack me, but whatever. He decided that he needed to do that for whatever weird need for contribution to help, but it did not come from a real place of wanting to help, right? It came from a skewed perspective. So I realized that. And the next part is release. The second R, realize. Second one is release. Figure out a way to release these feelings, to process them, to deal with them, to deal with the beliefs that they bring up, to deal with the memories or the other relationships that this mirrors and this is a copy of, because you know the things that we go through in different parts of our life are happening in just different areas. It could happen with your partner and happen very similar with a friend. It could happen with money, and then it could happen with your stuff in your house. It could happen hi Anna, in so many different ways. So how to deal with haters. 1, realize. 2, release. Release the feelings and then release them. And it doesn't mean you have to end the relationship, although it can mean that. Release them from your being. Release them from their ability to affect you. Now, sometimes that can be just a decision that you make right now. I'm going to release this person. You can make a decision and then say, I'm going to need some help in that and I'm going to need to work on that and start that process. Or it could be someone you're really ready to release. Like a year ago, I was ready to release this person. I kept letting this person, this man, be my friend and lie to me and tell me he's my friend. And then I decided, F this. Enough is enough. I'm ready to release you. I didn't tell him anything. I didn't tell him off. I just released him, unfriended him, and moved on with my life. Haven't heard from him since. You probably realize we're not friends on Facebook anymore. That's release. The third one is refresh. Refresh. What do you learn from this? What do you learn from this process of someone hating on you or hating your work or hating your boundaries? Your boundaries are yours. They're there to protect you. They're there to help you thrive. If someone doesn't like them, that's okay. It's not just fuck them. That's okay. They don't have to like them. So refresh. How can this shift and change? What other people you're going to bring into your life, what other opportunities, what other love, what other situations, just everything. The sky is the limit when you do this, when you're constantly aware, you're realizing, releasing, and refreshing. So, little summary here. Guys, those of you that are watching, thank you for being here. I know how important this subject is because I hear this from my clients on a daily basis about the clarity that they want and the clarity that they get from understanding what their boundaries are. Often from amazingly conscious, loving women and also in couples, I hear things like, it's really hard for me because I don't want to hurt the other person. I don't want to hurt this person I'm working with, my colleague. I don't want to hurt this person I'm dating. I don't want to hurt this friend that I've been friends with for a long time. But I don't want this anymore. I realize it's not for me, so I need to release it. So that's realize, release, and then refresh. Refresh, start again, cleanse, process, and then decide what are your new boundaries. So I would love to hear from you, whether you're watching now or on the replay. Any situation, share something vaguely, it's okay. But if you have any questions, you can share with me in the comments also or PM me, and I would love to answer it for you, perhaps in a video or directly. Share with me something you're ready to release. Maybe it's just a recurring pattern, a recurring trigger of haters, of caring so much what people are saying about a group that you identify with. Maybe it's what your parents think about your career choice, about your parents think about you sticking with something that they don't think you should stick with, or your partner not understanding the kind of paradigm, the kind of universe you live in. Any of these things applies to this idea of dealing with a hater. It doesn't have to be someone who's actively hating or putting you down, but someone who's not seeing you, not seeing what you're doing, and not seeing your boundaries. And this is an opportunity for the 3 R's. Realize, release, refresh. Okay. So thank you so much for being here, and I would love to hear from you. Reach out to me if you have any questions. And if you love this video, you are gonna love the workshop that I'm doing next Sunday on practical mindfulness. It is a perfect place for you to take this idea of dealing with haters and learn 5 amazing tools, 2 main frameworks, and 3 mini tools to use to process this, to be able to realize what's happening, to be able to what's the second one? Release, and to be able to refresh. So if you're interested in joining me for that workshop, it's next Sunday night online. Oh, it's Sunday night Tel Aviv. It's midday Eastern Standard Time and afternoon GMT London time. So if you're interested in that, write hell yes in the comments or PM me and check out that event that I will post shortly. Kisses to you all, love to you all, and I look forward to hearing about how you are releasing and refreshing the haters because you don't need them. They're not serving you. Love you all. Bye.